Hey everyone, if you're already falling behind on the goals that you set out at the start of the year, then this video is for you. Before we jump into the content, I think it's really important to remember that most goal failure is not because you are a failure, but because you just need a better system. You see, the best goals aren't achieved through perfection, they're achieved through small, consistent, systematic progress. And so today we're going to talk about why this happens so that you can reset, refocus, and start making progress again. I encourage you to stick around to the end of the video where I'm going to share how to build a simple goal setting system to easily keep you on track. If you're new here, my name is Jared and I'm a high school teacher turned leadership coach. Over the years, I've studied and tested productivity and goal setting systems to figure out what actually works. And from my own experience, I know what it's like to set big goals, fall behind, and be totally stressed out because you may not get to them. Through a ton of trial and error, I learned that falling behind doesn't mean failure. It's just a signal that you need a different approach. So today we're going to cover this entire concept in 3 sections. Section 1 is why most people fall behind on their goals. Section 2 is how to reset and get back on track without feeling overwhelmed. And section 3 is how to build a system that keeps you on track even when life gets chaotic. So if you want to skip forward or rewind, feel free to use the chapter markers I'm including below. So in this first section, we're going to talk about why most people fall behind on their goals. You see, most people assume that if they're falling behind, they're lazy or lack discipline. And that's usually not true. The real problem is that most goal setting systems are broken from the start. Over the years of coaching folks, here's what I have noticed. What happens? We set too many goals at once. We don't have a clear system to track progress, and we rely on motivation rather than habits. Most of the time, this results in people feeling overwhelmed, they miss a few days, and then eventually they quit. So if you've been struggling, it's not because you're not capable, it's likely because your system is working against you. And that leads us to the real question. How do we reset and get back on track? First, it's important that we stop thinking of our goals as all or nothing. You see, falling behind doesn't mean failure. Falling behind simply means you need to make an adjustment. So what I recommend is these few steps. Step 1 is do a quick review. Ask yourself, why did I fall behind and what got in the way? You see, maybe your goal was too big or your schedule was too packed or life just was life and it threw a lot of challenges at you. This is just part of the goal process. And it's critical that once you identify what has happened, then step number 2 is you need to shrink the goal. So for example, if your goal was to dedicate an hour daily to high impact business work, but haven't been consistent, scale the goal back a little bit from an hour a day to probably 10 minutes a day of focused progress on your most important task. The idea here is that wins will build momentum and will compound over time to get you to your goal. Once the goal is shrunk, then step number 3 is to build a layer of accountability. What accountability does is that it helps you see progress. And once you start to see small progress, it keeps you engaged and motivated. So once you're back on track, the question becomes is how do you build a long-term solution for goal setting to keep you on track? Before we answer that, if you're finding this video helpful so far, please hit the like button as it helps YouTube share this video with others who might benefit from it. So in this next section, we're going to be answering how do you make sure you don't actually fall behind again? Success isn't about motivation. It's about habit formation, routines, and systems. So here's a simple breakdown and system that works for so many people. 1 is set one clear goal at a time. Write the goal down and read it every day. 3, identify the simplest next step you can do for your goal today. So as a business example, instead of committing to launching a whole new department in your business at once, commit to defining just the first hire or the first key step because one clear action will lead you to momentum. Or on a personal note, rather than committing to working out 6 days a week for an hour a day, commit to making a small action this week. which might be as simple as simply signing up for a gym membership. Step number 4 is schedule time to do the next step. I once heard this quote, I believe from Michael Hyatt, and he says, "What gets scheduled gets done." If it's not on the calendar, it won't happen. So schedule it and stick to your calendar. Step number 5 is review and adjust weekly. Check and see what's working and what's not working, and then make the necessary adjustments. Step number 6 in all of this is to be gracious and compassionate towards yourself and the season you're in. Sometimes in goal setting and with high achievers, we really think that you have to get it all done right now and get it done perfectly. But at the end of the day, the more compassionate and gracious you are towards yourself and the goals you set, the easier it's going to be to get back on track without all the frustration or anger or shame or whatever complex emotions you might be feeling. Altogether, this basic system keeps you flexible, focused, and moving forward. If you'd like to get a list of this system written out, you can go ahead and click on the description below where I've included a link to that resource. Today, we explored what to do if you're already falling behind on your goals that you set out at the start of the year. We explored why most people fall behind on their goals, how to reset without feeling overwhelmed, and how to build a simple system that keeps you on track. And all of this was done so that you can reset, refocus, and start making progress again today. If you take one thing from this video, I hope it's this. You're not failing or a failure. You just need a better system. The best goals aren't achieved through perfection. They're achieved through small, consistent progress. If you're ready to make real progress but struggle with structure, the next step I recommend is for you to build a routine that keeps you on track with your goals, your mission, and your calendar. And you can check out this video right over here where I go over the 5 reasons why you should start a weekly routine today.